So your internal assessment have already been uploaded to college website, and from there you can note down your internal assessment marks. Now this is the last week of our study, probably the last week of our study in this semester, and today we will be discussing the last topic, which is from the unit 3, the applications of continuous time Fourier transforms. Now we have already studied the Laplace transforms, where we represented signals from time domain to S domain. Now Fourier transformation is little bit similar to the Laplace transformation. In fact, it is simpler to the Laplace transformation, because here the S of Laplace transformation is simply the complex variable j omega. So when S is replaced by, this is S, when Fs is Fourier transform and F omega is CTFT, that is Fs is the Laplace transform and F omega is the Fourier transform, and this is the relationship between Laplace and Fourier transforms. So when we put sigma as 0, then we get the Fourier transforms from the Laplace transform. S was sigma j omega, and if we put sigma as equal to 0, then we will be getting F omega as Fs. So the Fourier transformation is simplified version of Laplace transformation, where the sigma is assumed to be 0. Okay, now we are referring the fundamental of electric circuits by Alexander and Sadiko for this module. Okay, this is the equation number 18.6 is from this book. Okay, now whatever we have studied in the last module about the Laplace transformation, that is valid for the Fourier transformation also. For example, if convolution theorem, we talk about the convolution theorem, then the convolution in the Fourier CTFT domain is simply the multiplication. The convolution in time domain is simply the multiplication in the frequency domain, as it is evident in this equation 18.44 from the Sadiko book. Okay, so if we have to solve the circuits, okay, because now we will be discussing the systems in terms of circuits only, electric systems, and electric systems are circuits. Okay, so if we refer the current as the input and voltage as the output to an electric element, could be resistor, inductor or capacitor, then simply we can write in Fourier transform CTFT domain, V omega is equal to Z omega into I omega, and this is the time domain conversion to the frequency domain conversion, as we have done in the Laplace transformation case in that we studied in week number 6. Okay, so simply resistor changes to R, and L changes to j omega L, and C changes to 1 by omega C. Now this is this is similar to the what we have done in the Laplace transformation cases, and we will be simply changing the time domain circuit to the frequency domain, and the transformation will be this. The only difference between the Laplace transformation analysis and the Fourier transformation analysis is this, that the Laplace transformation analysis take care of initial conditions, whereas in Fourier analysis case we consider the circuit to be initially at the rest, that is, there is no charge on the capacitor and there is no current flowing through the inductor. Okay, this is the assumption we will be making in this analysis. So similarly we can as we have discussed earlier also, in the CTFT domain we can always define the transfer function as the output by the input function, ratio of output function to the input function. Now let us discuss one circuit problem, which is the problem 18.7 from the Sadiku book. Now here you can see that this is the resistor 2 ohm and 1 farad capacitor. They are connected in series, so it is series RC circuit, and in which input Vi is applied. And what is Vi? Vi is this, okay, 2 e raised to power minus 3t ut. Ut means it is a casual signal. Now if we take Laplace transform of Vit, it will be this, okay, and the transfer function will be output by input. So this will be the output and this will be the input. So it will be this will be the transfer function, and what will be the output? Output will be input multiplied with the transfer function. So this will be the output, this function will be the output. If we take the partial fraction, we will get this from this to this, and when we perform inverse Fourier transform, it will yield V output to be equal to this. So this is another way of finding out the output from the input if the circuit is described like this. Okay, so let us take another way of doing the same problem. If suppose input voltage is xt and output voltage is yt, then the same circuit can be described by this equation. This is KVL equation. RC dy R into current. What will be the current? IT. IT will be RC C dy by dt. This will be the voltage drop across R, and this Yt is the voltage drop across capacitor. So sum of these two voltages has to be equal to this according to KVL. Then if we take Fourier transformation of both the sides, we will get this Fourier transformation both the sides, and then taking the ratio of y omega to x omega, we will get this, okay, where RC is put as omega naught, 1 by RC is put as omega naught, and if we take mod of it, we will get this function, and this will be the phase function. If we plot this will be the magnitude spectrum, this will be the phase spectrum of RC low pass filter. So these are the two ways in which we can solve a circuit in CTFT domain. So thereby we can find out the impulse response, the step response of a given circuit, okay, by using this method, either by direct method or by solving the differential equation. Okay, here we also studied how to find out the transfer function from a system, for a system whose differential equation is given. Suppose this differential equation is given, we have to take Fourier transform both the sides, then put the ratio of output to the input as h omega, that is the transfer function, and if we take inverse Laplace transform of this function, we will get the impulse response of the system. So as we have I told you in the 6th week material also, taking the inverse of transfer function gives you the impulse response of the system. Okay. One additional problem for practice, you can try this. This is from the Schramm series book. Now if suppose a system is defined by this equation, and suppose we have to find out the output for two inputs, when xt is this e raised to power minus et ut, and when xt is ut. So it is when xt is ut, that means we have to find out the step response of the system. So if we take Fourier transform of equation number 1, we will get this, and then putting y omega by x omega, we will get it to be like this, 1 by 2 j omega, and we will get it to, because xt is given, so its Fourier transform will be this, and when we multiply the input to the transfer function, we will get the output. Because of convolution theorem, we will get this, and taking the partial fraction, we will get this expression, and therefore output will be taken care by taking the inverse Laplace transform of this expression. Okay, so these are the two references, Alexander book and the book by Su. So by this, I think I have completed the syllabus for the signal system from my side. Of course, there is no end to study. You can practice it, and practice always make man perfect. So put some extra efforts and do well, study hard, because examination may be late, but it will be there. And you have to pass the examination also. So not from the point of view of examination, you should always gain the knowledge also. Okay, so you have the time, you have to visit DU website regularly to get the updated information about the examination, etc. Okay, so be safe, be at home, and you have all my contact numbers, my email IDs. We are active on the Moodle also. So I have created one Moodle web page for the practice sessions. You can join that also, and we'll be doing practice sessions there. And best of luck. Thank you.